Globe maxing, globe trotting, all right? Leveraging your American dollar. All that boils down to is geographic arbitrage. What's going on, guys? It's your man BMT in the building, and we're talking about stacking your money to live large while you're overseas. Now, a lot of guys think they understand what the PassportBro ideology really is. They assume it's all about
dating women overseas, trying to escape the States, or the dating matrix problems in the States.
But in essence, it's so much more, because money is important. Your resources are important, but your time is even more important, guys. It's very important. And if you have goals in life, if you want to do something different, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to retire early, if you don't want to work for a company for the next 20, 30,000 years or whatnot, you can't do that if you're paying loads of rent and living expenses. It's just impossible. It's only so many hours in a day you can work for money, guys. All right. So, for example, if you're in Phoenix or somewhere, or any major city in America, your rent could be anywhere from $2,000 to $2,500, and that's a lot. Regardless, if you make six figures a year, that's still a lot coming out your pocket, where you could be saving that money and either investing that money, or even investing in yourself, where you have more time to date casually and get to know somebody. You can't get to know somebody if you're working 70 hours a week. And that other person can't get to know you if they're working 70 hours a week. So this video is important. We'll take a deep dive in global arbitrage. Let's go. Are you ready to stack some big bucks and live large while living overseas? Well, I'm going to introduce you to a new term called global arbitrage. Maybe you heard of it, maybe you haven't. It basically means you're getting things for a cheaper price where you decide to live at, all right? Now, in this new day and age, I know we come from an older generation where people were working 40, 50 years in one job or one career. And people still do that to a certain degree, but now the main goal is to retire early, retire in your late 30s, even early 40s, and get out of the American ecosystem in concerns of paying a lot of money just for living expenses. All right, the average apartment in any American major city is almost $2,000 US, where $2,000 US overseas can last you easily a month in most of the countries that we like to go to. For example, maybe living in Brazil or Colombia and even Thailand, where $2,000 would be damn near a rich person. I mean, the average rent in Thailand, places like Chiang Mai, is under $300 a month. So that's the definition of geographic arbitrage, pretty much leveraging your American dollar. So by a willingness to move around the world, you can dramatically change your financial options. The cost of housing, food, and insurance, medicine, and all day-to-day factors of life can change radically depending on where you live and which currency that you spend. All right, choosing the lower cost places to live lets you keep more of your income and savings. And guys, this is very important, all right? Most people go through financial bankruptcy simply by getting sick or having some type of ailment, getting in some form of an accident where your insurance doesn't cover everything exactly.
You're forced to pay large amounts of medical bills. That's like the common cause of financial ruin in the West.
And this really came about during the beer bug. When the beer bug happened, a lot of companies started to work from home, and people don't want to even really return back to the office because it makes no sense to sit in the car for an hour, hour and a half on the way to work, hour and a half on the way back to home, spending your gas on food, spending your money on food and gas, and then the time it takes is a whole nother 2-3 hours out your day. Then you want to have some gym time to yourself. I mean, it's just too much. Once again, if you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, how much time can you really dedicate to a relationship? More and more cases, you're going to be dealing with American hookup culture, because you really don't got time to really get to know somebody. In America, you could be dating somebody for 2-3 years and not even know them, because you guys work so much and only see each other once a week, which means like you see each other 4 times a month. All right, that puts a lot of strain in the relationships, and that's the reason, one of the main reasons why relationships are kind of piss poor in America today. So at least when you globe maxing, geographic arbitraging in other countries, you have more time to dedicate to a relationship. That's another key point and another key factor. All right, so some of the risks, if you want to call them risks, is by building your finances entirely around local cost of living you're kind of locking yourself into a certain region and certain lifestyle that may not work in your long-term interests, or you might need to change. So basically what that means is if you're kind of in somewhat, quote, of a third world country, if you want to say that, with some type of political unrest, and you've invested in some forms of Airbnbs and investments, and the government raised the banks or something like that, that can be a risk. If you're in some small country in South America somewhere and they overtake the government, that could be an issue, especially for an American. We do have instances where the judicial system in these countries aren't the most honest, okay? All right, and they always going to favor to the nationals, to the locals. And we got to deal with certain things like that. Even in concerns of safety could be an issue as well. But like I said again, with risk comes awards, right? So that's some things you just got to look out for. That's why it's very important to either book a consultation with someone, all right, that maybe been living there for a long period of time, all right, and they can tell you what Americans go through. And also download the PassportBros app. That's going to help you out a lot because it's going to tie you into a traveling network of guys that are actually traveling the world, all right, going to different countries all over the world. They can give you tips. You can also make money. It's a fully monetizable app you guys can download. So make sure to download the PassportBros app. And another thing, which is very, very important, especially to people like me who have entrepreneurship goals and aspirations. It's very difficult in America to spend enough time in order to kind of seed your business. Now, it's one thing to get the capital. You can get your capital numerous amounts of ways in America. That's the cool thing about being in America. But how much time can you really dedicate to something when you're working 40, 50 hours a week to someone else's dream? All right, so that's another reason. A lot of guys, a lot of entrepreneurs who have digital nomad type of jobs, they might work a few hours a week on their laptop, and then now they have time to dedicate to their own goals and aspirations. Because at the end of the day, that's what a lot of people want to do these days. All right, they have a dream. All right, they have certain ambitions. Nobody really wants to work for somebody for 30, 40 years and just to get a management position. I remember I used to work for a company that delivered, alcohol products. And at the retirement, some guy retired from working there for 20 something years, and they gave him a watch and a pen. All right, a watch and a pen, guys. Come on now, we can do a whole lot better than that. That's another reason a lot of people are getting out of the States. That's one of the bigger benefits, that you have time to kind of do what you want. So when you do this, you got more time for your relationships, and you also got more time to kind of flush out that business that you've been wanting to do your whole life. A big thing about this also is, choosing a location. Now, for a few years, of course, you can just travel the globe as you please. Maybe you can go to Thailand, all these other countries and stuff like that. But if you really want to maximize it, you want to kind of lock yourself in somewhere where you can kind of be your home base, where you can kind of have a home. You kind of can build a home, maybe even from scratch, for a very low cost. So that helps as well. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. Is this for you? Have you been thinking about becoming a so-called passport bro? And I know a lot of people think about the women when it concerns the passport bros, but that's not what this ideology is all about. Yes, of course, in these countries, they are beautiful women, but your lifestyle is the most important. What you can save is very important. What you can invest in is very important. And how much time can you really allocate to a meaningful relationship? That is important as well in concerns of building a family and building your legacy. All right, peace.